Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually good late, because this is like late. I mean, I got to go to work tomorrow, but this is late. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the truth? Can you handle the truth? Do you still think that this is a joke, what I've been telling you? Do you still think that this year is going to be a culminating year when it comes to the fulfilling of prophecies? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't come here to play games. I come here to give it to you straight from the hip and straight from my heart, so that you be one of the few that would escape this madness. Ladies and gentlemen, do you see what I've been telling you? That earthquake are man made. Why? Because man thinks he's God, right? He's got this God complex, and the technology is here to create, to cause and create earthquakes all over the earth. And they've been using it. And God gave the green light because this whole earth has forgotten about him. And thereby, destruction will come. But before it continues, I got bad news. America being the second beast mentioned in the Bible. In Genesis chapter 13, starting in verse 11. And the first beast is mentioned from verse 1 to verse 11, which is the Roman Catholic Church. Do not get it twisted. The Roman Catholic Church in America are working hand in hand to bring about what they call the New World Order. Will there be one religion, one digital money, which is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, which is gonna introduce the mark of the beast. People are not going to be able to buy food unless they accept the mark, which means the mark of the beast means following this government, okay, and its rules and all of that. Heck, people been doing that anyway. Look what they did. Look what they carried out in 2020. And everybody went along with it, and now they're being worked. They're being conditioned to give themselves up to the beast system, and they are. So this is why these videos are now promoted by YouTube AI. They are not promoted, and they never will be. Okay? Because I represent a revolutionary against the system. Because this is a spiritual battle. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. This is a spiritual battle that we have right here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this whole world is confused. Let me give you some example of confusion. Okay, to confuse the masses. You have a communist party taking over New York, which I told you was going to come. I didn't know if it was going to be communist, but New York was the target, was meant to be destroyed, because people, and I grew up there, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, my kids were born there. People that give themselves to the beast, ladies and gentlemen, deserved what is coming to them. Okay, so you reap what you sow, right? So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. In New York, you have a crazy man called what? Mandami. A man that doesn't even know where he's at. He just became a U.S. citizen not too long ago, and yet he's the mayor of the most powerful city in the United States of America. Okay, that's where all the media is, and that's where Wall Street is, stock exchange and everything. This guy is declaring war through his communist way of life, and also he pushes the gay agenda. But then again, he claimed to be Muslim. So you see, and Muslim, according to the Quran, do not accept gay, but they going for whatever, because the young people in this last generation are so messed up They are so confused that they giving themselves up to whatever. They've been worked. They've been conditioned. Okay? So you think New York was just going to be worked via 9/11 and we're just going to be let go? No. That's why this guy, he was put on there. And by the way, your votes don't count, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how hard they try to make you believe that your vote counts. No. The people that run the money actually put this puppet in the chair to serve their purposes. Okay? And now what is this guy talking about? He's talking about a revolution, a civil war, not just within the Democratic Party, but in the United States. You're talking about, you understand? Because they are true hard communists and socialists, which means they don't believe in God. They're atheists. But yet they claim to believe in Muhammad. You understand? They're going against their own principles because they know it has always been a game. Now you have a mayor in what's his name? Larry Johnson in Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, again, that man is so lost. Because remember, you have to work 3 states. You have to work New York, bring New York down. You have to work Chicago, bring it down, and then you have to work California. Once those states are completely destroyed, then America will be destroyed in 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. But it's got to be worked. It's got to be destroyed from within. Okay? And they have these beautiful words that they love it, don't they? They love to use it to play with your head. Islamophobic, racism. You understand? There's a movie that was I watched it on X called I believe Vigilante Immigrant or something like that. This guy goes around, taking law into his own hand. An American businessman that goes to Europe, and he tells you the truth, but then again, look how he's doing it through violent means. What does that inspire? It inspired what? Destroy the people that are destroying your countries. But guess what? If you kill a human being, that's a creation of God. Because only God, He giveth life and He taketh away life. Okay? Now, the people in this world they're not even asking God to have kids anymore. People have been having kids all over the place for many different reasons. Oops, mistake. Oh, my condom broke. Oh, my grandmother wants to have grandchildren, honey. Can we have grandchildren for? You understand? It is getting ridiculous out there. Not to mention what religion has done. That's why all politicians, they always bring religion into the mix. That's why religion doesn't pay any taxes. Now you're starting to see the full picture. Okay? 501c3, anybody? They don't pay taxes. Now, we have a bloodshed going on, offered unto the gods. They're not little ones, as America has been doing through its history with abortion and what they did to the Native Americans. No. Now we're doing it because remember, these are real God's chosen people. In fact, the people of Venezuela come from the tribe of Asher. So right now, up to now, there are 1,400 people dead. Okay, 1,400 people dead. And there are 50,000 still missing. So that number is undoubtedly is going to get into the thousands of people there. That's meat for the demons. Things are going to get wild before the demons materialize themselves here. And people are actually going to think that they are extraterrestrial beings. That's why, remember, Hollywood, through Stephen King's, have been conditioning you to believe in extraterrestrial. Oh, there's got to be extraterrestrial beings out there. Yeah, in other planets, when in reality there are no planets. We live on an enclosed, flat Earth. The moon is a plasma that does its job of shining the light on all of us. And the sun does its jobs by keeping us alive. So the moon cools the night, the sun gives us food. Okay, and what do people wants to do? Like Elon Musk, Elon Musk, and then talking about blocking the sun for climate change. So you see, people are confused all over the planet. They want the best for humanity, but the means to bring it about is so screwed up because it's evil in disguise. Bill Gates is talking about blocking the sun. We spraying something with what? They call it even Satan spray because that is their God. They've been worshiping the fallen angels, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? From the 33rd degree Freemasons, that is their God. They admit it. Okay? And they believe that they're going to live forever. Once everything is done. Once we're through and done with all of this, with all this madness, they believe that they will be reigning with Satan forever. Absolutely, they're right. They're going to be in hell forever. So that's all I came to tell you really quick, because tomorrow is another working day. Okay? I came to tell you that the earthquake that happened in, not just in Venezuela, Japan, Mexico, the Philippines, okay? Those plates just needed a little push. Okay? And HARP is there to do the job, along with fracking. So ladies and gentlemen, please, okay? Let us get it straight. America is about to learn what the true meaning of evil and the consequences of it. Because America is the second beast, and she will suffer. Oh yes, she will suffer tremendously so. Okay, she was never the land of the free. That was all a joke. In fact, the first president of the United States, according to them, was George Washington, which is a lie. Because remember what I've been telling you, everything is a lie. He was a Freemason. That's what they teach you in your book. They teach you lies. And yet, they want the kids, they want their kids to follow, to do good, not to steal. Okay? But what is the government allowing to do through the IRS? Making sure that they go into their paycheck. They get paid before we do, ladies and gentlemen. The IRS get paid before we do. You see how sick this thing is? And we allowed it to happen. Back in 1913, American was robbed, blind. Okay? For what? For evil endeavors. Your taxes pay abortion. Your taxes pay for war. And if you think the war in Iran is over, you got to think again, ladies and gentlemen. The war in Iran is not over. In fact, Iran, through alliances, will defeat the United States of America. It has been departed through a human history. She has been used. Remember, they are the descendants of the Persian Empire. They were there to defeat any any anything that God has used the Persian Empire. Okay, but that doesn't mean that Persian Empire is God's people. You understand? Because they don't think that Christ is a God. I mean, if you come from the God family, what that makes you? If I come from the human family, I'm a human being. If I'm born out of a woman, I'm a human being. But we don't want to even look like humans anymore. You understand? I mean, we have become a joke. Okay? Before our Creator and before the devil himself. I don't blame the devil. I blame humanity because they are making the same. Ever since our forefathers made the wrong decision, and he worked Eve, couldn't work Adam. Now he's working these people, and he's taking pleasure to see people dying. And of course, God's giving the green light because these people that are populating the earth are not following God's commandment. They're not even asking the Creator. For instance, I have kids, right? I have kids right here. Before I had them, I asked God to give them to me. That's when, after I came out of the things that I was doing wrong, which is a learning experience that I had to go through when I was a drug trafficker. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have walked in the shoes, in the path of evil. That's how I know the enemy and how he works. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, please. I used to be in the military, and I can tell you, the HARP, even though they want to make you believe that they shut that operation down back in 2014, do not believe it for a moment. It is hard work. That's what they want you to believe. Remember, the greatest trick that the devil did is to make people believe that he doesn't exist. And by the time that they realize that he exists, it is too late. They be going to attending their religion, mosque. We got them. You understand? So, ladies and gentlemen, please, all you have to do is ask God for your forgiveness. Do not follow any man-made religion, and follow this real 10 commandments, because being a God's soldier is a way of life. It's not which mosque or which church or which temple you go to. It's how are you living before your Creator. And obviously, the people in Venezuela were not living correctly. In fact, that day, what were they doing? They were worshiping other gods. John the Baptist, can you believe this? Which in Spanish means San Juan el Bautista. John the Baptist, the one that baptized Christ. It's ridiculous. And then they have other spirits that they even sing to Shango and all of those. Ladies and gentlemen, please. It is the dawn of this last human generation as we know it, believe it or not. Are you going to keep on thinking that I'm crazy? Or that I'm a tinfoil hat? Do you see a tinfoil hat in my head? I've been doing this for years. I was part of many different religions. I'm what you call religionist. And I saw the psychological game. So, I mean, take a look at some of the things that I've done in my life. I was even baptized in one of them religions. I was part of religion. Then I became, then after that in my years experience, a drug trafficker. I was a door-to-door salesman. I was part of the military in the United States of America. So you can have an idea of what I've been through. So I know a thing or two about as to why human condition exists. why the human condition is the way it is, why humanity hates itself. Because that is what it has come down to. That's why you divide the people. Okay? Remember, is the game of the name of the game is Earth depopulation. When in reality, the Earth have enough space to have another 8 billion people upon this Earth. And then they come to you and say, we care about you, climate change, and then they make a mockery out of you and tell you, there's going to come a time when you won't have nothing, and you will like it. You understand? Bread and circles. That's all they give you. How many times am I going to say, how many times am I going to say that your votes don't count? You think this guy was really elected in New York? No. He was selected. He was chosen. He was put on there to make sure that New York will be destroyed. Once New York is gone, which is the revenue capital of the United States, which is where's the World Trade Center, the stock exchange, you name it, everything is going to be impacted. New York is going to become a no man's land. America itself will be destroyed. But they don't see it now. They think, hey, the communists think, see, it's all a game. Your America has been scammed because you've been believing all of these politicians. You believe in Donald Trump. You believe in Biden. Don't you know that Biden and Donald Trump got together before they got together and said, and there was the man in front of them, in the middle, said, yo, Biden, you're going to mess up the south border. You let everybody in. Donnie boy, you're going to be like the savior, and people will see you as the savior. Remember, it all comes down to religion. Because politics and religion, in fact, religion came out of political system. Back in the year 325, in the Council of Nicaea, under the Emperor Constantine. Do your research, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's when the Roman Catholic Church, the first beast, was created. It is time to wake up and smell the coffee. And all this World Cup and all this Epstein files is all distraction. And all this revealing of extraterrestrial when in reality they are fallen angels whom they have been worshiping. That's why they're not too happy about revealing all of this classified, because it's going to blow your mind. But now that it's all out there, they're going to make you believe, oh, there will be some extraterrestrial coming down to shake your faith. When we live in an enclosed earth, the moon is a plasma, okay? No one can land on that. They make you be, you even fell for that. That's how naive and how gullible the human mind is. Ever since our forefather believed the first lie that was told to them. Hence we die. And this is nothing. This is only the beginning. This is all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, do not get it twisted. This is real. America is in a spiritual survival which is not going to survive it, because it is within her very essence to self-destruct. Why? Because she's the second beast. She's the daughter of Babylon, and Babylon is the Roman Catholic Church. But she's also called Babylon too, in the spiritual sense. Chapter 18 tells you, okay? It tells you, come out of her, my people, so that you won't be partakers of her plagues that are coming to her. Read it. Chapter 18, verse 4. Oh, you think I come here to look cool and on the YouTube channel. No, in fact, this is a demonetized channel, because I'm a revolutionary against the system for the very survival of the human race. Why you think world leaders support all the wrong things? Needles. In LA, they give needles to clean needles so that people destroy themselves. Why you think they support abortion, which is offering to their gods in plain sight? Why you think they support the homosexuality, the gay agenda? Can two men procreate life? That should tell you right there. It's an insult to to human existence. It is an insult to them. But then they say, "Oh no, that's hate speech." No, I don't hate. There's no hate in my heart. I don't hate the homosexuality community. In fact, I met some people. I have friends that are gay. I hate what they becomes, what they have allowed themselves back in New York. I have people that I used to work with. I hung out with them. I don't hate them. If there's a hate in my heart, then I'd be the greatest hypocrite in history, because I preach the Bible, which is all about love. Because without love, in fact, the Bible pushes what? Love thy brothers as thyself. So I love everybody. I just don't go and agree with what they're doing with their lives. Okay? So do not get it twisted. There's no hate here, but love. But people are too blinded to see it, because they've been introduced under this satanic matrix. The matrix is real. People don't want to be unplugged, and they want to keep on living the way they are, and then they will be destroyed. Sodom and Gomorrah will. You understand? It's sad. I don't want my brothers and sisters to die. Leave the right way before God. Throw away all your religious beliefs and all your religions. I just told you where they were born from, where they came from. And then they mixed it up. It's like getting the fruit of the earth, which cures all diseases. And then what did men do? He put what? He put chemicals in the medicine. That's why it became pharmakia, which is the Greek word which means sorcery. That's why when you get medicine in your body, you get side effects. You never get cured. It's not in their best interest for you to get cured. So this is all for now, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. And once again, remember, there's more.